So hi, welcome to My Sugar TV. My name is Tony Song, and I am your host. And today we have a special guest, and this is Susan Sylvester.
Hi.
Hello, Susan. How you doing?
Very good,
Now,
thanks.
Susan's been one of our customers for probably about 3 years or so.
Yes.
Yeah. And we've known her. She's come to the program a while back, and she's managing her diabetes. And because you know about diabetes and all the complications that could happen with diabetes, not everybody gets complications, but there's a good chance that it could happen if your blood sugar is out of control, out of the range. And one of those complications is renal failure. Susan,
Yeah.
did that happen to you?
That happened to me.
Okay. How long have you had diabetes?
44 years.
44 years.
44 years, diabetes. So I've been through a lot. I've experienced a lot. My son is diabetic, and I got it when I was 11. So I'm 55. Give that away. And I've had the ups and downs as a kid. Just experimenting diets because everybody wants to lose the weight.
Oh yeah.
And I've had my hospital shares and semi-comas, and pretty much been
You've gone through everything.
a lot in all these years. I actually feel very fortunate because having it for 44 years, I still have all my fingers and toes,
There you go.
which is a miracle
Yeah.
in itself. And but recently, I went. My blood pressure was too high, and I went into the renal failure. So my kidneys are shot, and when I went to the nephrologist, the kidney specialist said to me, "You'd be a good candidate for home dialysis, which is called peritoneal dialysis."
So what's the alternative to home dialysis? Where would you have to have gone or done if you didn't have this home dialysis?
If I wasn't able to do this, you do have to go to a dialysis center.
Okay.
Where they basically take out exchange your blood. You do have to have a surgery. Most people have it in their arms, but it could be on your chest, it could be in your thigh, depending on your veins. And you have to go 3 days a week and sit in a chair from 3 to 4 hours.
That's what I hear. Yeah.
And it's very draining.
Yeah.
It's very draining. I have some other people that I know that have been on that type of dialysis, and they get very weak after.
Sure.
It's a draining process.
I mean, just on top of having diabetes and trying to manage diabetes, now you gotta go to this place 3 times a week for 4 hours, right?
Exactly.
And that really is a big chunk of your day,
Well,
really.
basically, that's your life.
Yeah.
It's sad. Some people don't have a choice. There's a lot of services where the people actually get picked up and driven to the dialysis because they're unable to drive.
Yeah.
But fortunately, when I went to the kidney specialist, she said to me, "You're somewhat young, and I think I'd be a good candidate for home dialysis." And I was shocked because I was like, "Home?
Yeah.
Tell me more,"
Well, one of the things I wanted to point out, though, Susan, is it depends on, I think for patients, people that live with diabetes that get that news, there's like 2 ways you can go through it, right?
Mm-hmm.
There's that, I think the way you did it was the better way, because then you said, you know what, okay, that's the situation, I want to learn as much as I can, I want to get this thing going, right? We've had patients that just completely go into depression and don't even go to dialysis.
I have to say this because my doctor said I'm her favorite patient because I did everything she said, and she said most of her patients don't.
Yeah.
Problem with that is people go into denial. it's not gonna happen to me, you know, it won't have that effect on me, whatever the situation.
Yeah.
And then they come back when it's too late.
Right.
Because if you don't do it and nip it in the bud, it's gonna get worse.
Right.
It's gonna get you.
Yeah.
It's just like the diabetes.
I know. You've always been proactive.
Yeah.
I know that. So that's good.
Well, you know, having it so long,
Yeah.
and experiencing so much. I know one time I was in the emergency room
Uh-huh.
and waiting, and all these people that were like the first time ever in a hospital, and I was amazed
Yeah.
at questions that were asked and how, you know, scared they were and things that to me is just so typical.
Right.
But, you know, it's just experience
Yeah.
with that. I knew that at that point my kidneys were at 19%, and they told, I said, what is dialysis patients? Because I didn't know anything about it. And they said 10 to 15% you have to be at, basically, to go on dialysis.
Uh-huh.
So I was pretty much there already.
Did you know when you were at 50% or 40%, or you didn't know?
No, in fact, when I went to the doctors, jokingly, I said to her, "Oh, so what are my kidneys at? 50%?"
Right.
Thinking I was being smart aleck.
Right.
And she said, "No, they're at 19," and I was devastated.
Yeah.
I mean, I try and have a good attitude about everything, but it really took me back.
Mm.
I said that it's going to be another whole change in my life.
Yeah.
But again, I didn't know about the home dialysis, which is very helpful.
Yeah.
You know, if I had to go the other way, if I wanted to stay alive, of course I would.
Yeah.
You know, and I have family and children and grandchildren, so yeah, I needed to do it for myself first.
Right.
So,
So did you do a lot of research when you found out that you needed to get on dialysis, and did they?
Yeah, I went on the internet.
You went on the internet. You found out some stuff. Did you automatically think? Because I'm sure everybody's kind of heard or known somebody that maybe go to dialysis center. Did you think that you were going to go into a dialysis center to begin with? 'Cause
Yes.
You didn't know about this option at first, right?
exactly.
Okay. And then,
Exactly.
so then when you found out that you were, well, when you thought you were going to go to dialysis center, how did you find out about this?
Through my kidney specialist,
He
my
told you.
nephrologist.
Okay.
Yeah.
Good.
She said, she ran the report, you know, took the blood and everything, and said, you are going to be a good candidate.
Yeah. What makes you a candidate for this?
From the blood work.
Okay.
Because what happens is every month I go to the dialysis center to get my blood work done, and they check everything. They check mostly your proteins, your calcium, your, you know, there's so many things you can't eat
Oh, yeah.
because it changes the whole diet,
Yeah.
which is terrible because, you know, you're limited as a diabetic.
Right.
So then on top of that, with the dialysis, you know, there's like no more bananas. It's completely different, you know, because I was like, I can't eat this, I said, I can't eat anything. Keep me through an IV. I mean, I was just so frustrated.
Yeah.
It's very frustrating. But anyway, you know, you learn, and you know, if you let that not that positive attitude, but the denial is always the worst. You know, you have to react. She told me, after she told me I'd be a good candidate, she explained to me that I would need to have a surgery, which for putting the bags into my body.
Mm-hmm.
So I had to have, I mean, it was outpatient, didn't stay in the hospital, it was very, very simple, and they put a device, a little tubing in your stomach, so I have a hole in my stomach,
Okay.
like my belly button.
An extra one.
And it's an innie, no. And yeah, I have a tube that comes out of my stomach, and that's what I hook up to.
Okay. So, do you mind showing us how you do this? Because I think our viewers would like to know. So, this is just, we wanted to bring it to you because we wanted to give you an alternative, at least, you know, to let you know what's out there. If it's not a dialysis center that you go to, this really makes it much more convenient.
Convenient,
Right?
exactly. It makes it convenient. You can still work. What happens is I do dialysis every night, but it's while I'm sleeping. So
Right.
what do you
I
do
know.
at night?
Right.
I mean, you know,
So-
it's just a tube, so it's not, you know, if you're in a relationship, it really doesn't interfere.
Yeah.
So with your normal life, and then you wake up in the morning, you unhook everything, and you're ready to go.
Cool. Okay, are you ready to show us?
I sure